Diving into The White Lotus, the HBO sensation that has captivated audiences with its biting satire, unforgettable characters, and jaw dropping finales. With season 3 just around the corner, it's time to uncover everything you need to know before the highly anticipated premiere.
What happens in Thailand stays in Thailand.
Amen.
The place is insane. We should always live like this.
Go big or go home, right?
In a goddamn body bag.
The White Lotus is a critically acclaimed HBO anthology series created by Mike White. Each season centers on the lives of guests and staff at a luxury resort, delving into themes of privilege, societal dynamics, and human behavior.
Goal is to create for the guests an overall impression of vagueness. They get everything they want, but they don't even know what they want.
The show is known for its sharp social satire and ensemble cast performances. The third season is set in Thailand, utilizing the country's rich cultural backdrop to explore themes related to spirituality and existentialism. Filming locations include Bangkok, Phuket, and Koh Samui. While specific plot details are under wraps, the season is expected to intertwine multiple storylines involving guests and staff at the Thai resort. Creator Mike White has hinted at a satirical and funny look at death and Eastern religion and spirituality, continuing the show's tradition of blending humor with deeper themes. The season features a diverse ensemble cast including Natasha Rothwell reprising her role as Belinda. New additions such as Carrie Coon, Leslie Bibb, Michelle Monaghan, Walton Goggins, Amy Lou Wood, and notably, Lalisa Manobal, Lisa of Blackpink, making her acting debut. Lisa, known globally as a member of the K-pop group Blackpink, will make her acting debut in this season. She portrays a Thai resort manager named Mook, who greets new guests at the hotel.
You enjoy Thailand?
We usually go to the Caribbean.
The White Lotus Season 3 is scheduled to premiere on HBO on February 16th, 2025, and will be available for streaming on Max. Given the show's previous success and Lisa's significant global fan base, the upcoming season is generating substantial anticipation. Her involvement is expected to attract a broader audience, especially those eager to see her transition into acting. So don't forget to tune in for Season 3. And also stick around as we will be revisiting the drama of Seasons 1 and 2, giving you all the juicy details and connections you'll need to fully enjoy Season 3. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss our latest recaps and reviews.
สวัสดีค่ะ Welcome to the White Lotus in Thailand ค่ะ
Everyone runs from pain towards pleasure. But they get there only to find more pain.
It's pathetic.
Got really bad feelings.
Let's get started with our quick recap of The White Lotus Season 1. As the newest guests arrive in Maui, newlyweds Shane and Rachel Patton check into the White Lotus for their honeymoon. However, when they are informed that the pineapple suite they originally booked was double booked and they are placed in a different but still luxurious room, Shane takes it as a personal slight. Frustrated, he confronts the hotel manager, Armand. Tired of dealing with entitled guests like Shane, Armand responds passive-aggressively, subtly sabotaging Shane's stay. Meanwhile, Shane remains fixated on not getting the suite he wanted, allowing this minor inconvenience to ruin his honeymoon. Rachel, who isn't accustomed to Shane's lavish lifestyle, begins feeling trapped when he insists she quit her journalism career since he makes enough to support them both financially. Things only worsen when Shane's overbearing mother, Kitty, arrives uninvited, making Rachel feel even more like a trophy wife. As doubts about her marriage grow, Rachel finally confesses to Shane that she regrets marrying him. Nicole and Mark Mossbacher arrive with their daughter Olivia, her friend Paula, and their socially awkward, tech-addicted son, Quinn. Nicole, a powerful CFO, carries the financial weight of the family while Mark initially worries about a potential cancer diagnosis. When he learns he is healthy, his relief is short-lived after discovering that his father was secretly gay and died of AIDS. Struggling with this revelation, Mark becomes insecure about his masculinity and his secondary role in the family. he starts drinking and insists that Quinn put down his electronics and become more active. Eventually, Mark opens up to Quinn, but overshares by revealing he once had an affair. Though Nicole had already moved past it, she is furious that Mark told their son, reigniting tensions in their marriage. Meanwhile, Quinn is forced to sleep on the beach after Olivia kicks him out of their hotel room. There, he meets a group of locals who introduce him to canoeing, sparking a newfound appreciation for the world outside technology. Olivia and Paula, on the other hand, spend their vacation using drugs they smuggled into the resort. When they leave their stash behind at the beach, Armand finds it and decides to keep it, further fueling his spiral into substance abuse. Olivia grows jealous when Paula starts a relationship with hotel employee Kai. Learning about the resort's history and how it was built on stolen land, Paula convinces Kai to rob the Mossbacher's room and steal Nicole's $75,000 necklace, a gift from Mark meant to mend their marriage. However, the plan backfires when Nicole unexpectedly returns early from a family scuba diving trip, and Mark follows her. Catching Kai in the act, Mark intervenes to protect Nicole, leading to a physical altercation. Kai attacks Mark before escaping, but in the end, Mark is seen as a hero by his family for putting himself in danger. Tanya McCoy, a wealthy and eccentric woman grieving the loss of her mother, arrives at the White Lotus to scatter her ashes. When her attempts to schedule a massage fail because the spa is fully booked, Tanya befriends the spa manager, Belinda, and pays her to lead a ceremonial chant. Tanya is so pleased with the experience that she offers to fund Belinda's wellness business. For Belinda, this is a life-changing opportunity, but for the wealthy and aloof Tanya, it's just another fleeting idea that she soon loses interest in. The power imbalance between them quickly begins to weigh on Belinda. Later, Tanya sets sail on a boat to scatter her mother's ashes at sea. Meanwhile, Armand, acting out of spite, tricks Shane and Rachel into joining Tanya under the pretense of a romantic dinner, leaving them stuck comforting the eccentric Tanya instead. During her stay, Tanya meets another guest, Greg, who has been diagnosed with a terminal illness. As Tanya and Greg grow closer, she begins to pay even less attention to Belinda. Greg helps Tanya process her grief, and the two decide to start dating. Meanwhile, Armand starts to crack under the pressure of catering to the endless demands of the entitled White Lotus guests. Eventually, he breaks his sobriety, drinking heavily and abusing the drugs he stole from Olivia and Paula. His reckless behavior escalates, and he even supplies drugs to a younger hotel employee named Dylan. When Shane catches Armand and Dylan using drugs and engaging in a sexual encounter, he seizes the opportunity to blackmail Armand into finally giving him the pineapple suite. When Shane learns about the Mossbacher robbery, he informs his travel agent of all the problems he has encountered during his stay at the White Lotus. This leads to Armand being fired. After one final workday filled with drinking and drug use, Armand sneaks into Shane's suite to exact revenge, defecating in his suitcase. However, when Shane returns to his room and senses an intruder, he arms himself with a knife and accidentally stabs Armand, killing him. As the season comes to a close, Armand's body is loaded onto the plane carrying guests out of Hawaii. Tanya and Greg decide to continue their relationship. Shane and Rachel reconcile and leave the island together. The Mossbacher family prepares to depart, seemingly united. But Quinn makes a last-minute decision to stay behind and join his new local friends as they take their canoe out to sea. As for the staff of the White Lotus, Armand is dead. Kai is caught by the authorities and arrested. Belinda, left behind by Tanya with nothing but a stack of cash, loses confidence in her business plans. The wealthy guests come and go, but the White Lotus staff are the ones left to deal with the fallout. Before we delve into Season 2, let's take a moment to appreciate the critical acclaim and accolades garnered by the White Lotus Season 1. Oh, if you've been watching our review until now and still aren't part of our family, you seriously need to go and subscribe now. You need to be a part of our growing community. Okay, let's continue. The White Lotus Season 1 holds an impressive rating of 8.0 out of 10 based on over 231,000 user reviews on IMDb. It also boasts a 90% approval rating from critics, with an average score of 8.4 out of 10 on Rotten Tomatoes. The show garnered 11 nominations at the 74th Primetime Emmy Awards, winning 5 major categories. Additionally, it received 9 nominations across 8 categories, securing 5 additional wins at the Primetime Creative Arts Emmy Awards, which is truly impressive. Now let's move on to Season 2. The series focuses on the guests and staff of the White Lotus Resort in Taormina, Sicily. Despite the resort being a dream vacation destination, the season opens 7 days in the future, revealing that for some unfortunate guests, the Italian getaway will end in death. But let's start at the beginning. As the newest guests arrive in Sicily, Tanya McCoy checks into the White Lotus with her new husband, Greg. Greg is frustrated that Tanya has brought along her young assistant, Portia, and tensions in their marriage quickly arise. Throughout his stay, Greg remains temperamental and frequently takes secret calls, insisting to Tanya that they are work-related. He repeatedly reminds her that he is nowhere near as wealthy as she is, and due to their prenup, he still needs to work. Eventually, Greg is called back to America, leaving Tanya and Portia alone in Sicily. Also checking into the White Lotus is Hollywood producer Dominic DiGrasso, his sleazy widowed father, Bert, and his seemingly kind-hearted son, Albie. The DiGrasso trio travels to Italy to reconnect with their familial roots and explore their homeland. Originally, Dominic's wife and daughter were supposed to accompany them, but they decided to stay home after discovering Dominic's repeated infidelities. Upon arriving in Sicily, Dominic secretly hires local sex worker Lucia and her friend Mia. Eventually feeling guilty, he breaks off his arrangement with them in hopes of bettering himself and winning back his wife. However, he still allows Lucia and Mia to use his guest access to the hotel, much to the frustration of the short-tempered hotel manager, Valentina. Lucia teaches Mia about the perks of sex work, encouraging her to seek new clients among the hotel guests. Meanwhile, Mia dreams of becoming a professional singer and sets her sights on charming the hotel's lounge pianist, Giuseppe, hoping he can secure her a regular singing gig at the White Lotus. Mia offers to have sex with Giuseppe in exchange for his help, but after he mistakenly takes some of Lucia's pills, thinking they are Viagra, he collapses and is hospitalized. With Giuseppe gone, Mia convinces Valentina to let her perform in his absence. Valentina, who harbors romantic feelings for the receptionist, Isabella, becomes devastated when Isabella reveals she is engaged to fellow receptionist Rocco. Seizing the opportunity, Mia seduces Valentina as a way of thanking her for the singing gig. When Giuseppe returns from the hospital, Valentina fires him and gives Mia the full-time position. Other new guests at the White Lotus include Ethan and Harper Spiller, vacationing with Ethan's college roommate, Cameron Sullivan, and his wife, Daphne. Ethan, newly wealthy after selling his tech company, is wary of Cameron's sudden reappearance in his life. Harper is especially skeptical, believing Cameron is only interested in taking advantage of Ethan's success. She is put off by Cameron and Daphne's seemingly carefree, privileged lifestyle and their excessive public displays of affection, especially in contrast to her own relationship with Ethan, which has become distant. Harper's suspicions about Cameron appear to be confirmed when Daphne takes her on an overnight girls' trip. That same night, Cameron pressures Ethan into investing in his company and hires Lucia and Mia for a night of drugs and sex. Although Ethan refuses to sleep with Mia, he chooses to keep the details of the night a secret from Harper. When Harper later finds a condom wrapper in their room, she assumes Ethan has cheated on her. Having actually grown close to Daphne, Harper vents her frustrations, only for Daphne to reveal that she is well aware of Cameron's infidelities. Daphne confesses that she copes with it by having affairs of her own, even implying that one of her children was fathered by her personal trainer. Ethan then becomes paranoid that Harper secretly cheated on him with Cameron. Harper confesses to drunkenly kissing Cameron, but Ethan believes they went even further. Fueled by jealousy and anger, Ethan confronts Cameron before revealing his suspicions to Daphne. Strangely, Daphne seems unfazed by the revelation and instead invites Ethan to explore a nearby island. Upon Ethan's return from his mystery trip with Daphne, he finally initiates intimacy with Harper, reigniting their relationship. Meanwhile, Albie begins a brief relationship with Portia, but their connection fades when she meets the more exciting and charismatic Jack. Albie then turns his attention to Lucia, unaware that his father, Dominic, had slept with her just days earlier. Dominic tries to dissuade Albie from pursuing Lucia, but cannot do so without exposing his own indiscretions. As Albie and Lucia grow closer, Lucia confides in him that she owes a significant amount of money to a dangerous man named Alessio. Believing Lucia's feelings for him To be genuine and hoping they can continue their relationship in Los Angeles, Albie makes a proposition to his father. If Dominic agrees to pay Lucia 50,000 euros, Albie will tell his mother that Dominic is remorseful and has changed in an effort to win her back. Reluctantly, Dominic agrees and pays Lucia, but Albie is left disappointed when he realizes she has scammed him. Elsewhere, the lonely Tanya is befriended by a wealthy British man named Quentin, who has inherited a grand estate in Palermo. Quentin and his eccentric friends take Tanya under their wing, showering her with attention in an attempt to lift her spirits. Portia accompanies her boss and her new acquaintances, where she grows closer to Jack, who is introduced as Quentin's nephew. As Tanya confides in Quentin about her troubled marriage with Greg, he shares his own heartbreak, revealing that he was once deeply in love with a cowboy in America who, unfortunately, was straight and could not reciprocate his feelings. Tanya soon grows suspicious of her new friends. First, she secretly witnesses Quentin and Jack, supposedly relatives, engaged in a sexual encounter. Then, during a lavish party thrown by Quentin, she discovers an old photograph proving that Greg was the cowboy Quentin had loved. Despite her growing unease, Tanya allows herself to be seduced by Quentin's young and attractive cocaine dealer. Meanwhile, Jack takes Portia out for a night on the town, refusing to let her return to Tanya. As Jack continues to drink, he eventually admits to Portia that she is being kept away as a distraction. He also reveals that Quentin is not his uncle, but rather a wealthy man who saved him from a dire situation in exchange for sexual favors. Realizing the danger they are in, Portia frantically calls Tanya to warn her, but it is too late. Jack seizes Portia's phone and ensures she cannot reach her boss. Meanwhile, Tanya finds herself trapped on a yacht with Quentin and his associates, who are working with Greg to have her killed and steal her inheritance. In a desperate attempt to save herself, Tanya finds a gun in the cocaine dealer's bag and opens fire on her would-be captors, killing Quentin and the others on board. However, in her frantic escape attempt, Tanya falls while trying to board a dinghy, fatally hitting her head and drowning in the ocean. As the season comes to a close, Jack, feeling some remorse for his role in the scheme, takes Portia to the airport and warns her to stay quiet about what happened. Meanwhile, Cameron and Daphne remain together in their open relationship. Harper and Ethan reconcile, rekindling the spark in their marriage. Dominic is given renewed hope in his marriage, despite still struggling with his wandering eye. Albie and Portia reconnect after their harrowing experiences in Sicily, and Lucia and Mia walk off into the sunset, having successfully secured both the money and the opportunities they were after. That wraps up our recap of The White Lotus Season 2. Much like Season 1, this season masterfully explores themes of deception, power, and privilege, delivering another compelling and dramatic story. Season 2 holds an impressive rating of 8.0 out of 10 on IMDb, based on over 140,000 user reviews. It also boasts a 93% approval rating from critics, with an average score of 8.6 out of 10 on Rotten Tomatoes, making it even more critically acclaimed than Season 1. The show received 23 nominations at the 75th Primetime Emmy Awards, winning 5 major categories. Additionally, The White Lotus Season 2 secured 10 wins at the Primetime Creative Arts Emmy Awards, an impressive feat that solidified the show's status as one of HBO's best productions in recent years. Now, we want to hear from you. Will you be watching Season 3? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you won't miss our full Season 3 recap and review once it's released. See you in the next one.